Let's talk about the Tokyo Olympics. For a while there, it didn't look like they were even going to happen. But now, it's game on.
Arguably, the world's biggest sporting event will get underway in Tokyo.
Under a state of emergency and now with no fans.
But Tokyo is ready.
Think of this as your essential guide to the games. So on your marks, get set. Here are 5 things you need to know. First up, the new sports. Every Olympics, new ones can get added. But when was the last time they were this cool? Skateboarding, surfing, sport climbing, karate, baseball, and softball. It's part of a plan by the International Olympic Committee to make the games more appealing to younger people. And Sky Brown can probably help with that.
Sometimes people think that you're too young, you can't do it. I want to show them that it doesn't matter about your size, your age, you can do anything.
At just 13 years old, Sky is a skateboarding prodigy and a medal contender for Great Britain. And there are no age restrictions in skateboarding. So you've also got South Africa's Dallas Oberholzer, who's 46.
I'm going to represent more the old school and maybe more the punk rock kind of approach to skateboarding. I would have never thought that skateboarding would ever get to the Olympics. So to me, it's beyond my wildest dreams. In so many places it's legal and frowned upon. And I was at school and I was told I couldn't go skateboarding. I'd have to go to rugby practice. For me, it's just kind of like justice. And just the fact that I get to wear my country would be awesome.
So it's a pretty big deal when new sports are included in the Olympics. It's almost like a seal of approval.
E alguns anos atrás era esporte de vagabundo, né, entre aspas, em geral. Então acho que o surf nas Olimpíadas já é passo gigantesco para a modalidade.
It's the same for karate, and the fact that it's debuting in Japan is extra special.
We made it into the Olympics, which is the ultimate form of being a sport. So I think for Japan, that has a very, very deep meaning, new meaning to karate. My great-grandfather was the president of the Japan Karate-Do Federation, and that was his dream to have karate into the Olympics from 50 years ago.
But of course, there's still a pandemic going on, which brings us to our second thing you need to know. There are lots of COVID-19 restrictions. It means the games are going to look and feel really different. There's a whole playbook of do's and don'ts for athletes, 70 pages of rules about testing, mask wearing, and travel logistics, no hugging or handshakes, and no hanging around in Japan once your event is done. But the biggest change? None of this, and more of this. The Japanese government recently declared a state of emergency in Tokyo after COVID-19 cases started climbing again. Spectators are banned from the venues in and around the capital, although in other parts of the country, venues can be filled to 50% capacity with a cap of 10,000 people in the stands.
残念ではありますけれども、無観客ということを決定した方がより多くの方に開催に向けてのご理解をいただけるのではないかという判断のもとに決定をさせていただきました。
To call it disappointing is probably the gold medal of understatements for sports fans and for some athletes who won't be able to feed off the crowd.
As a former Olympian during non-global pandemic times, the roar and the energy from the crowd, that's something I can take myself back to, and that was 25 years ago. And these athletes are going to miss out on that movement and that experience.
It will be different and it is disappointing. We won't have thousands of people there, but at the end of the day, when you're racing, you can't really hear much anyway. Mum always says, "Oh, did you hear me yelling?" And the answer is no.
It doesn't look nearly as good for broadcasters and also for sponsors. They promote their goods and services, and that's really going to be constrained in this new environment.
And there's something else to factor in this year, and this is the third thing you need to know. There's been a lot of opposition from the Japanese public. Back in May, a poll showed that 83% of people wanted the games canceled or postponed, although more recent polls show that number is down to around 30%. People are worried about what the Olympics mean for the spread of COVID-19. Even without spectators, you're still talking something like 90,000 people traveling to Japan from more than 200 countries. And at the beginning of July, less than 10% of Japan's population was fully vaccinated.
ね、やっぱりほら努力してきた人がいるし、やっぱり準備してね会場も作ったから、やっぱりなしにするよりはねいいかなって思いますけど、私個人としては。
But in the end, Japan had a really tough decision to make. There are billions of dollars at stake. If you count up all the money spent on venues, sponsorship and partnership deals, media advertising, and add the extra cost of postponing the games, these are looking like the most expensive Olympics in history.
We're talking about roughly $25 billion US. Now, imagine if Japan took the view that it's too difficult, the risk is too high. The IOC would be able to seek redress financially.
So basically, hardly any fans, lots of Japanese people annoyed that it's happening at all, and there are major concerns about COVID. But it's the Olympics. Let's not underestimate the power of these athletes to inspire us and take us on a wild ride. Here are some to watch out for. Top of the list, American gymnast Simone Biles. And the big question, will she attempt the Yurchenko double pike vault? The what?
It's a round-off entry vault, and then you are flipping 2.5 times, because just think you have to do a half a flip to get to the vault from the board, and then there's 2 flips in a beautiful piked position.
In other words, it's a supremely difficult move, and Biles is the only female gymnast to ever land one successfully in a competition. She did that in May.
Most people, if they tried it, they would face plant it. So Simone is just out of this world.
Others on the watch list include Japan's Naomi Osaka. She's returning to tennis after she took a break to look after her mental health. There's Kenya's Eliud Kipchoge, described as the best marathoner ever. Laurel Hubbard from New Zealand, who can lift more than 150 kilograms over her head and is the first openly transgender Olympian. And while we're talking inspiring athletes, the refugee team is back this year after making their debut at Rio 2016. They're a team of 29 men and women who've all had to leave their homes under duress to find a new place to live and train. There's the sport shooter Luna Salomon, who escaped from Eritrea, Syrian boxer Wissam Salaman, and Iranian Taekwondo athlete Dina Peryounis.
My life was not easy when I was Iran and when I came to Netherlands. I having more motivation. I'm so happy because I go to Olympic and my dream is true.
The thing about these games is whatever the issues around them, whether that's politics, money, or even a pandemic, it's about the hopes and dreams of so many people. The mood in Tokyo now seems to be, let's be safe and do our best. And maybe that's what the Olympic spirit is all about.
It's been a tough year for all of us, but I'm still excited to see what we have been working for.
You got to believe in your abilities and you can't have any fear stepping in there.
It's about bringing the globe together. And for this year, it's all about healing. And that's why I think we need this more than anything.
You can catch our coverage of the Olympics over on AlJazeera.com, and you can find more Start Here episodes on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you won't miss our next episode.